Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrew, and we are actually going to be jumping into some Try Hack Me tonight on the SOC level 2 path for advanced Splunk exploring SPL. Now, this is actually a pretty fun room, and don't be alarmed. I think when I jumped into the actual course of it, it says it takes about 90 minutes to 60 minutes. You can actually get through it, I'd say, relatively quick. And it's actually a pretty fun room to get through. So we've already spun up our instance, which is going to save us some time. I am just using the attack box. So I'm in the split screen and I have it into a separate tab. So that's where we're working out of tonight. And let's go ahead and get started. So if this is your first time on the channel, how's it going? Hey, everybody. My name is Andrew, also known as GingerHacker. And we're going to kind of just talk about some cyber stuff, going through some Try Hack Me rooms and knock out some boxes and get some flags solved. So we've already jumped into our connection here. And if you're new and not familiar with SIM, some also room recommendation they give is Intro to SIM and Splunk Basics. But we bit around the block a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and jump in. So as I mentioned here, we've actually already spun up our box. But if you're using your virtual machine, you can actually go through this site right here, and it can navigate to you. Or once you're inside your attack box, you can actually just navigate to the IP address that it creates for you. So mine is right here. Yours will be different, but to go ahead and just go to that, and then you can click into, let me just show you what the main homepage of it looks like right here. And then you're gonna go to search and reporting, and that's initially where we're gonna start off. So we've connected with our lab. That is a check. Next, we'll be looking out of his window logs. That's good to know. And our first question is what is the name of the host in the data summary tab? So if we go back in here and we navigate into our top search box for search, we can see right here on how to search, we see a data summary. If we click on data summary, go to hosts, and right here we see cyber host as our answer. And rolling. All right, let's see what this is next asking us for. Search and reporting app. So this is going over the search and reporting app. So specifically where and how we actually search and conduct our queries, where we drop the process language or SQL for those queries, as well as the time duration of how long we actually want that time to run. So right here in that search, here we have hit set for 24 hours. We'll probably set that to all time here in a minute. We'll put that there now. We have a search history. So what we've maybe searched or ran through in the last few days, weeks, months, ran the last 7 days. And then data summary. So this is tabs providing us some summary and data of a data source. Once we actually run our search, we'll get some field bars and some sidebars as well that we can kind of get into and drop down into. So a host, source IP, source type, user, destination IP, port, everything like that. And yeah, so in the search history, let's get to our first 3 questions. In the search history, what is the 7th search query in this list, excluding your searches from today? So if we go to search history, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It may be this one right here. I literally just found that by hitting our drop down in the search history and counting down 7. Sweet, perfect. So in the left field panel, which source IP was recorded as a max event? Now with this one, it's actually asking us, and it maybe doesn't clarify well, it's asking us now that we're going to be actually jumping into our index for window logs and seeing what our top IP is. Go back to our question here. So in the left field panel, what source IP has record max events? So we can go down here to source IP, source ports, source address, 172.90.12.11 is what I'm seeing at 347. Awesome. And how many events are returned when we apply a time filter to display events on 4/15/2022 from the time of 8:05 a.m. to 8:06 a.m. So let's go here and apply our time filter. So we can do date range time between, and that was asking for the events on April 15th. Between 8:05 and 8:06 a.m. Between 8:05 and 8:06. Let's see. We'll hit search. 134. See if that's what it's looking for. Hey, it is. There we go. So yeah, we simply just went to our time range, time date between those on dates, and 8:05 to 8:06. Well, cool. We are going to keep moving right along and keep moving through this thing. So we're now going into the Splunk Search Processing Language Overview. And this is going to be going over some of the operators that are used to compare values against the fields. So we have our equal, username equals mark, not equal to mark, less than, equal to. These are going to be showing events with that are pretty much looking for what the thing we're looking for. So showing all events that have a value of age less than 10, showing events that have an age less than or equal to 10, and so forth. So looks like we have some example queries here that they've provided us. So let's use some comparison operators to display all the event logs from the index Windows log. So when account name is not equal to system. So we can go here and just simply grab this, go back into, I'm going to go back into my date time range and go back to all time, just so you guys can see that. We'll throw this here in the top, hit the pivot for, looks like we have 84. Go back to statistics. And now we can keep it at events. Cool. And we're seeing James, network service, local service. So awesome. James user. We have some different channels. We have some event IDs. So cool. Let's keep moving right along. So Boolean operators. So here we then can start adding not, ands, or ors. So returning any and all events that contain value 1 and B containing value 2, field A containing either value 1 or value 2, or where field A contains a specific value. So for those and, not, and, ors. So for this one, for example, we're trying to find something. Let's add in the condition to show the events from James' account. So we want system and also James. So let's pull this. We're going to do Control C, pull this over to our instance, and we can just drop that in, push enter. So we're seeing 79 events, and this is going to be for our account reference James. And since we're doing the and here, and system. We then have the wildcard. Wildcard is, I like to call it your Hail Mary. This is when you're actually using it to find maybe any and all IP addresses that maybe start, like for this example, starting in 172. We're doing this index Windows logs for destination IP, specifically looking for any and all the IP addresses within the 172 range. And now we can get into some questions. So how many events are returned when searching for the event ID 1 and user James? So we actually jump up here. So event ID 1. We should be able to do James, although I think I need to do it. It's going to be capitalized. me see. And James wildcard. Let's see if we do the James wildcard and user James. There we go. So here specifically with that question, what we did was we added in our event ID, specifically looking for one, and our user with a wildcard James, and it looks like we're seeing 4 different events. So let's pivot back here. Awesome. Okay, now how many events are observed with destination IP 172, 172, 1839.6, and destination port 135? So here we can simply also go right here and do destination and destination port. I think it was 135. Yep, 135. Go ahead and hit search. And cool. Looks like we're also seeing 4 events. So outstanding. So let's see if that works. Go back here and go to 4. Perfect. What is the source IP with the highest count returned with a search query? So in here we have our search query that they've actually provided us right here. So we can go ahead and grab this. We can drop that in. So this is saying, what is the source IP with the highest count returned with this search query? So we can simply go down here. And if we go down to our source IP, it looks like we have it right here. It has 17 counts, 172.90.12.11. Perfect. Now, in this next one, this is actually going to be a great show of kind of showing wildcards and the power of what it can and can't show. So, in the index Windows log, search for all events that contain the term cyber and how many events return. So, this is going to be kind of neat. We're going to go simply here. We're going to type in cyber and we're going to hit enter. Well, wait a minute, Andy, there's no events. And yeah, that's right. There's 0. 0 events are showing for us. So let's put that 0 in. Crazy enough, that's right. But now watch what happens when we actually put the wildcard in, looking for now any term with that wildcard to see if there's any events that return. What? Now we have over 12,000. Crazy, I know. And this is, I think, a great way just to show that power of the wildcard, to show that maybe a specific word may not show specifically when looking for it. So sometimes it's nice to throw that asterisk on top to kind of maybe get a better look on maybe there's an underscore or a hidden character or something that could be offsetting what you're looking for. So yeah, the wildcard can just be very powerful. So let's grab that number right here, which is the 12,256. We're going to throw that right in here. Oh, I lied. Hold on. Now search for the term cyber and how many events are returned. 12256. I thought that's what it should be. Let's see. Now search for the term cyber. How many events have returned? 12256. Oh, there we go. It didn't like the comma. That's what it was giving me a hard time for. All right. Now filtering results in SPL. So here we're going to do some great things as well. We're actually going to add some additional select fields, and we're piping these and then doing some separations to give us some better kind of spacing to show additional things we can see. So here we have some examples that we're going to be dropping in here via through like search PowerShell, looking for anything that's firing through via PowerShell. We can use also dedupe that's going to remove any or specific multiple events that we don't need to see. And that dedupe command is going to get those removed and hide those so we don't have to see those anymore. We also have the rename user as employee. The rename, this allows us to change the name of a field in the search result. And we have our perfect. We have some example queries we're actually going to be grabbing right here to throw into our lab. So was the third event ID returned against this search query? So we'll simply grab that. We're going to go right up here into our top lab, drop that in, let that run. 1, 2, 3. Our event ID is 41003. So 4103. Using the dedupe command against the host name field before the reverse command in the query mentioned in question 1, what is the username returned in the host name field? So before the reverse command, we are going to be adding in the dedupe host. So if you want, you can simply go up here. We're going to grab that pipe dedupe. Oh, do. Dedupe hostname. Let that run. And there we go. So by doing the dedupe, we've now narrowed this down to our 3 specific users of where all this occurred. And it's asking us who our first one was, which is Selena Adam. Scroll down here. Right, perfect. Well, hey everybody, this is a great time to also mention that this video is actually sponsored tonight by the IT Career Accelerator. Now, if you're looking for a great application that can help you kind of get some community involved and also help you with some great mentorship, some folks also trying to break into cyber and leverage up the networking community to find that next role, the Bearded IT Dad has an amazing IT Career Accelerator that is here to help you in this community break into cyber. Now, they have different types of tiers, but if you'd like to have a mentor like myself, like Dakota, and some of the other amazing mentors on that application and the site, make sure you drop that 20% code off, which is GingerHacker, to get 20% off your first 6 months. And they also have a free version you can also use as well to get on the community, to jump into some great chats, some other great resources, and to level up and help you break into cyber. So make sure you give them a check that out on the Bearded IT Dad with the IT Career Accelerator to help you get into the career that you're looking for. Now, back to Try Hack Me. Let's knock out the rest of this room. We only have 2 more choices left, and then we'll be completely done and furthering into the level 2 SOC path and a little bit deeper into our Splunk knowledge. So let's keep moving along. All right, structuring the search results. So here we have the table, and we're going to be going over some syntax with some examples of using the head command, which is showing us the top 20 events. Here's a great example via through the screenshot, and it gives us a search query if we wanted to give that example. We also have head. This is also going to return the top 20 events from the result list. So we can also see that as well here for the events. And tail. And tail is just showing us the last 10 events that resulted in a list. So awesome. And then we have sort. Sort's another great way that you can do sort in ascending order, sort in descending order, and stuff like that. So simply just if we were doing like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, that's descending, or ascending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how that's going to actually play into things if we throw that sort information in. And we have reverse. So with the reverse command, this simply reverses the order of the events. So yeah, pretty straightforward. All right, well, let's get into using the reverse command. So in this search query, so they're providing this one here for us right now, what is the host name that comes up on top? So they're asking us to do a top command, so that's probably going to be head. What is the host name that comes out on top? So make sure I have the right one here too. So we'll do head host name. Oh no, it doesn't like what I said. Head. Let me see. I'm pretty sure. Using the reverse command with the search query. Oh, the reverse command. That's why I was using the head command. So we're simply going to do reverse. Silly me. I'm tired and I'm working too fast. So let's do this one. If we do reverse, James Brown. There we go. Read, Andy. You need to read. I know. There we go. Now, moving right along, what is the last event ID returned when we query in question one is updated with the tail command? So we're going to do with this reverse. We're now instead going to do tail with event ID. What is the event ID returned with the query in question one when we do our tail command? So with that, we have 4103. So let's see, 4103. Awesome. Now sort the above query against the source name. What is the top source name returned? So what we could do, sort the above query against the source name. What is the top source name returned? All right. What we're actually going to do, let's see. We can do a sort by source name. So what we'll do, sort source name. All right. So what we found out is we had source name spelled wrong, and that's why we couldn't find our top answer for sort the above query against the source name. What is the top source name returned? So the events that has 16,977 is Microsoft Windows Directory Service SAM. Don't try hack me while tired, everybody. That is the moral of the story. Oh, let's do this at the very beginning. There we go. All right. And then transformational commands in SPL. So here we have top, which is going to follow commands will display the top 7 images. For this example, we also have the rare. So with this command, it's going to be the opposite of the top command, creating the least frequent. We have highlight. This is showing results of events mod with field highlighted. And the following command will highlight the 3 mentioned fields in the raw logs. So highlight user, host, event, and image. So cool. So stats command, stats is going to give us some other basic parts of the syntax, some examples of what this does. So the command average, max, min, sum. Explanations right here within this box. I'm not going to read back to y'all. I know everyone here can read. You guys are doing great things. I appreciate it. And the search query. So Windows logs for the chart count by user. This is simply just doing a user used to transform the data into tables for visualization, which is always good for our leadership. We also have the time chart as well. So here we're using the time chart count by image as well, which can be used to display the image chart based on the time. And now we have some great questions. So list the top 8 image processes used that the top can be used by the top command. So let's go in here and let's go back into our query, and we can go ahead and grab this as our example. I'll throw this here, throw this in. Now, the thing we're going to first look for is top. So top limits equals 8 image. Hit enter. Go back to our question here. So what we're looking for is what is the total count of the 6th image? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have our background task host is 196. So that is what this one should be. Moving right along. Perfect. So next one we have is using the rare command. We're going to identify the user with the least number of activities captured. And we can simply go back into here. We are going to stay within our Windows logs, and we are going to type in rare and user, making sure that is spelled correctly. And it looks like our user is James, James. Perfect. Now, the last but not least, we are going to create a pie chart using the chart command in what is the count for the conhost.exe process. So we are going to simply just go from here, and we're going to chart count by image, if I can spell chart right. Oh, there we go. Chart count by image. We're going to hit enter. We can go right here to visualization, and we are already naturally here into our pi one. So if we go back to our question, what was the count for the conhost.exe process? So as we're looking, conhost.exe, that count was 70. So we'll pivot back here, drop in that 70, and we are there, everybody. So awesome. We have recapped our conclusion. This wraps up our Splunk SPL room. We have covered some various functions of the commands that we've used together to get through and search queries and build some cool data visualizations. And we're one step closer to completing the SOC level 2 pathway by completing the Splunk SPL exploring. So this was a medium room. Took us, I'd say, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And hopefully you learned something and can kind of get along through this as well as we continue this path. So as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks.